Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. We should start the program now.
Good morning, sir.
Start the program now.
Good morning, sir.
Start the program now.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes, Rahul, sir.
Ma'am, can we start?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. A very good afternoon to one and all. I, Rahul Sharma, Member Center of Excellence in Sustainable Development, SBB. I feel privileged to welcome today's guest, respected Professor Ambaresh C. Thaukar, Head Department of Agronomy, School of Agricultural Sciences, GH Rayasani Universities, Sai Kheda, Chhindwada, Madhya Pradesh, India. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Upinder Dhar, respected Chairperson, CESD, Dr. Santosh Dhar, HOIs, HODs of various departments, Member Secretary, CESD, Dr. Namrata Jain, Event Coordinator, Dr. Yuvraj Shinde, faculty members and participants on 5th Foundation Day of Center of Excellence in Sustainable Development. This year, we are celebrating the Foundation Day by organizing a webinar on harnessing the untapped potential of millets for food security, nutrition, and sustainable agriculture. We have the tradition to worship Goddess Saraswati while lighting of lamp and taking the blessings before starting of any program. I would like to request technical team for virtual lamp lighting and playing Saraswati Vandana.
श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा।
Thank you, technical team. Guest is always like a god for all of us, and welcoming the guest is our tradition. So I would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor and respected Chairperson to welcome today's guest, respected Professor Ambarish C. Thakur, virtually. Thank you, technical team. Now I would like to request respected Madam Dr. Santosh Dhar, Chairperson CESD, to enlighten us with her words and brief us about the center. Please, ma'am.
Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University, Dr. Upinder Dhar, esteemed resource person, Professor Ambarish Thakur, Head Department of Agronomy, School of Agricultural Sciences, G.H. Rai Soni University, HOIs and HODs of the constituent institutions of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, Member Secretary, Dr. Namrata Jain, Event Coordinator, Dr. Yuvraj Shinde, all other members of the center, colleagues, and my dear students, a warm welcome to the webinar on harnessing the untapped potential of millets for food security, nutrition, and sustainable agriculture, organized by Center of Excellence in Sustainable Development on the occasion of 5th Foundation Day of the Center. On the outset, let me congratulate all CSD members and whole SVV fraternity on this occasion. It was way back in the year 2019, on July 23rd, the Center of Excellence was established with a vision to contribute towards 3 pillars of sustainability: people, planet, and prosperity. The center has been consistently organizing various activities, and I am happy to share the humble contribution of the center towards different sustainable development goals. The first initiative taken by the center was for Sustainable Development Goal 12. Unsustainable patterns of consumption and production are the root cause of triple planetary crisis: climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. One of the targets of SDG 12 is the environmentally sound management of waste. Electronic waste is a global concern. In order to take the initiative for proper disposal of e-waste, the center disposed of 2.2 tons of electronic waste of the university with a registered company of electronic waste. The center also celebrated Swachhta Pakhwada as per the guidelines of the University Grants Commission. This was the longest celebration spread over 17 days, where a number of Swachhta and environment-related activities were undertaken to cover SDG 12, responsible consumption and production, SDG 13, climate action, SDG 14, life below water, and SDG 15, life on land, through activities such as campus and postal cleanliness drive, plantation of saplings, awareness raising about solar PV grid, weeding of the weeds, weeding of old and unimportant papers, postal making competition on environment conservation, speech competition on water conservation, slogan competition on forest conservation, and best out of waste consumption. Students of the university performed Nukkad Natak for school-going students in the nearby villages with an objective to raise awareness among the young ones to minimize the use of single-use plastics and the need for cleanliness and hygiene. The center also organized a special talk show on air pollution, its impact, and the control strategies. During this celebration, a number of environmentalists, policymakers, and other stakeholders became a part of the event. SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, demands attention as billions of people still lack safe water and adequate sanitation facilities. In order to raise awareness about the need of ensuring the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all, a webinar on SDG 6 was organized by the center. Goal 17, partnerships for the goals, lays significance on partnerships and the collaboration. Keeping this in view, the center, in collaboration with the National Institute of Disaster Management, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, New Delhi, conducted a 3-day online training program that was attended by more than 600 participants across the country. The center also, in collaboration with Rotary Club, planted 100 saplings in Jhabua. Honorable Vice Chancellor of the university, along with the chairperson of the center, visited the tribal area near Jhabua and participated in the plantation drive. Then, in collaboration with Indore Municipal Corporation, an awareness campaign on #BagYourReusable was coordinated by the center to raise mass awareness about the hazards of plastics and to encourage people to carry and use possible eco-friendly alternatives such as steel glasses, spoons, and bottles. Life on land is an integral part of our survival. We collaborated with Isha Foundation to sensitize students about the need for soil conservation. For SDG 15, Life on Land, every year, the center, in association with Jimmy and Janet McGilligan Foundation for Sustainable Development, celebrates Jimmy Memorial Week for Sustainable Development so that the youth can understand the importance of SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. Moreover, to give them practical exposure, the center planned a visit to their center wherein students witnessed the application of renewable energy and solar energy. SDG 9 talks about industry innovation infrastructure. The center organized Bridge or Innovation competition, wherein students constructed bridges like popsicle sticks. The idea was to give a platform to students to showcase their talent and to prove their skills so that in future they can contribute towards creating sustainable infrastructure and foster innovation by building resilient infrastructures. Single-use plastics have created havoc all around the world. University makes every effort to minimize the use of single-use plastics. The center also initiated an awareness drive, Say to Single-Use Plastics, and ensures not to use the same during the events hosted by the university. SDG 3, Good Health and Well-Being, aims to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all. The center organized webinar on biomedical waste management and an ecosystem restoration for good health and well-being. The center celebrates prominent days such as World Environment Day, International Day of Forest, Earth, and Ozone Day, and encourages students to participate in different activities organized at state and national level. Two of our students, Khushi Prajapat and Ayushi Jain, participated and won in national level competitions organized by IIM Vizag, the business school Visakhapatnam, on the occasion of International Ozone Day in the month of September 2021. 50 students have participated in National Students Paryavaran Competition, an initiative of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change under the aegis of Paryavaran Sikshakaran Gatividhi. The results will be declared in the month of August 23. Agriculture plays an important role in addressing the needs of the growing population and to meet the targets of SDG 2, Zero Hunger. In order to make students conscious towards it, a session was organized on the importance of native seeds and sustainable agriculture. The center organizes Sundarlal Bahugra Memorial Oration, wherein we call Padma Shri awardees every year. Recently, in June 2023, the third oration was delivered by Dr. Rajendra Singh, the Waterman of India. Speaker of the first oration was Padma Bhushan Dr. Anil Prakash Joshi, followed by Padma Shri Shyam Sundar Paliwal. In one of the events, Padma Shri Mahesh Sharma, founder Shiv Ganga Samagrama Gram Vikas Sanstha Java, delivered a talk on water conservation for sustainable development. Since its inception from 2019, the center has been graced both offline and online by 27 guests at different occasions. Around 33 activities have been organized, which has witnessed the participation of more than 2,600 participants. I would like to congratulate all the members of the center and the entire fraternity of SWB for their efforts and support. To teach, to preach, to practice, to live in harmony with nature is not one day or 1 year exercise. Continuity, consistency, consciousness, civic sense, and collective actions are principal components of sustainable life. We aim to continue this journey with more zeal and enthusiasm in the coming years. With these words, I once again welcome our esteemed resource person, Professor Ambrish. We are certain that today's session is going to be another feather in center's cap. Thank you very much. Over to Rahul Sharma.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your enlightening words. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Upinder Dhar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya, to bless us with his words. Please, sir.
Good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to welcome resource person for today's program, Dr. Ambrish Ji. We are thankful to him for accepting our invitation. Today, as we know, we are celebrating the 5th foundation day of this center. Center was established with a very specific objective, keeping in view the concerns that have been expressed at various platforms by people all over the world. At United Nations also, this has been the concern. That's why in 2015, 17 Sustainable Development Goals were formulated to ensure that we leave this place as a livable place for the generations to come. We need to protect the environment and change our ways, change the lifestyle so that environment is not harmed. As has been mentioned by the chairperson, that all these 17 sustainable development goals relate to various domains of life, whether it is water or air or environment in totality, health, education. All of these have been formulated in such a way so that qualitatively we improve. Whether it is education or health, we need to improve all over the world to protect the interests of every person on this earth. I would say not only human beings, but even the animals and vegetation. Our experts in agriculture and science, particularly botany and zoology, are also concerned about the environment. So we need to ensure this environmental protection. Now, the question is, what can we do? How should we do? That's why to answer that question, this Center for Excellence in Sustainable Development was established in 2019. First thing that can be done and that we have been doing, as we have seen from the report, is to increase awareness. More people should know that what needs to be changed in our lives, in our day-to-day life, so that we do not harm the vegetation, we do not harm the nature. We need to see to it that nature is protected. We cannot harm nature. We cannot afford to harm nature in the name of modernization, in the name of having more scientific temper. Not at all. We, of course, have to have the scientific temper. We have to appreciate the contributions made by science. But at the same time, we need to see to it that whatever achievements we have, whatever technology we have today, it is used appropriately. It is used in the right direction. We need to ensure positivity around us, positivity towards others, positivity towards even oneself. That's very important. And I'm sure that to a great extent, our center has been achieving this objective of increasing awareness, not only among students, but amongst all those who are representing the society. Second, objective is to discourage those practices which are not in tune with what we should have, which are harmful for the nature. So we need to identify such instances and discourage it. See what we can do. Say at times it may be that we have to approach the regulating authorities to ensure or discourage wrong practices, to discourage unhealthy practices. So besides awareness, practices need to be examined. What we are doing, how we are doing need to be examined. They need to be reviewed, and unfavorable activities need to be discouraged. So we must promote the desirable activities. Desirable here in the sense which are nature friendly, which are environment friendly. That needs to be encouraged at every level and in every segment of the society, irrespective of our specializations, irrespective of the discipline that we have chosen. The sustainability cuts across. It cuts across all domains, all disciplines. So it's a very common issue because it affects mankind. It affects the life on this earth. Therefore, we must take it very seriously and see to it that how we can achieve the goals set by the United Nations. Unfortunately, even after the completion of 8 years, we don't see the end of the problems. Now, the goal is to fulfill all the 17 goals by 2030. Only 7 years are left. That means 8 years are already over. So that means more than 50% of the time is over. Will we be able to achieve these 17 objectives by 2030? That means in 7 years? That really is a question mark. But at the same time, who will provide the answer? We have to provide the answer. We have to work hard. We have to be more sensitive towards our environment. We have to be more conscious towards our environment and see to it how we can protect it. Ultimately, we must realize that we are living because of this nature. That's why in our culture, we say Mother Nature. Other cultures may not call the nature as mother, but in our culture, nature is seen as mother. Earth is seen as mother, Mother Earth, Mother Nature. So we are here, we are living, we are taking a breath because of the blessings of this nature. And we must respect these blessings and see to it that we protect the environment and ensure well-being for everyone, not only for us, but for the generations to come. With these words, I greet you on this special occasion of 5th Foundation Day, and I'm sure that we will be richer in our understanding about environment with the deliberation of Dr. Ambrish Ji, which we are very eager to listen to. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your knowledgeable address. Now I would like to introduce our guest. Professor Ambrish Thakur is currently working as head of the Department of Agronomy in School of Agricultural Sciences, GH Raisoni University, Sai Kheda, and has experience of over 30 years in the field of agriculture. He is the alumni of Dr. Punjab Rao Deshmukh Krishi Vidyapeeth, Akola. He has taught most of the agronomy courses at the undergraduate and postgraduate level. He is guide and mentor of many students. He has handled responsibilities as RAWE in charge, module in charge, organic farming production technology, agrometeorology observatory, vermicompost unit. He has 25 research papers to his credit, several articles, radio talks, attended and conducted various national and international conferences. He has successfully conducted Agri Hackathon, Agri Fest, Wild Vegetable Mahotsav in the university. He is a practicing organic farmer with certification of Farm and Farmers by PGS India and Bureau Veritas. Working Vice President Sendriya Naisargik Sentamal Utpadak Sanstha, engaged in promotion and marketing of organic farm produce, Dhanya Mahotsav, weekly market in association with ATMA, and many more achievements. Now I would like to invite today's speaker, respected Professor Ambrish Thakur, for his address. Please, sir.
I would like to thank all of you for inviting me in such a august presence. I hope my voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I did not know that so much work has been done at your Vidyapeeth, and I'm happy that the vision of the Vice Chancellor and the way in which the chairperson has followed the vision of the Vice Chancellor, and to be associated with such an august organization, and I being the one of the person who has never used any insecticides or pesticides in my own farm, just because I know that it will kill everything. So I'm happy to be with you. I would ask Parvez to just start my presentation. Now today's topic is about harnessing the potential, untapped potential of millets for food security, nutrition, and sustainable agriculture. Next. Actually, I would like also to greet the faculty, the team members of CASD, the faculty members, and all my dear students who are attending this seminar and who are associated with such a wonderful organization and who are making you aware of all the issues related to agriculture. I would like to take you all through a short journey of the agriculture since the Green Revolution and before the Green Revolution, the scenario of our agriculture, what it was. Next slide. For me, agriculture is the mother of civilization, and the journey of mankind and his evolution towards a better being is totally dependent on the way we are going to go forward as a civilization. Our Indian civilization, for our Indian civilization, agriculture was always and is always a sacred and symbiotic profession. Whereas for the modernized and Western civilization, it is more of a commercial enterprise. And all the problems of today's agriculture lie in this word, commercial enterprise. Today, we, mankind, is in a position of realization of the advantages and disadvantages of the technologies developed by the Green Revolution period and our own traditional knowledge base, which was with us, which is with us and our farmers for the last thousands and years, which we are engaged in agriculture. Now, first of all, I would like to bring you to notice that whatever genome or the genetic material in our plants, this has been evolving for around millions of years. And in these millions of years, they have fought against various adversities, and during the process, the fittest has always survived. And these crops which are there have adapted to the situation and developed accordingly to the morphological and physiological characters or whatever they are having. And due to genetics and all other hybridization processes, we are trying to change this genetic pool, which is actually a pool which has been developed and which is a very good pool for so many years. Next slide, please. The father of green revolution, Dr. Norman Borlaug, in his next slide, kar dijiye. Parvez Saha. Dr. Norman Borlaug, in his vision and foresight, had actually warned of the possible effects of the process of genetical modification in the crops and sustainability, and had then advised, if we don't control the population, we are going to have a breakdown in all the systems, ecosystems. And today, it is a bit, what he has predicted has come true. We as agriculturists have forgotten over time, and commercial agriculture followed, and the unsustainable path of intensive, high input, destructive path of agriculture, both environmentally and genetically, has been in the being today. And as of now, the genetical modification has led to many anomalies of the crop in the crop physiology and morphological processes. For example, I would like to enlighten my viewers that in the process of wheat hybridization, actually the structure of the starch in that was changed, and this is causing high blood sugar and diabetes in we people who are consuming more of wheat. And also the second issue is of gluten. That gluten has been added. Earlier it was less, but now because of hybridization, the gluten percentage has increased in the our wheat varieties, and that is causing many digestive and allergic problems in the humans. And so we are facing a issue whether actually really we should be consuming wheat or not. And alternatives has to be now found out, what alternatives we have to have. Other controversial issue which I would like to highlight here is regarding animal breeding or breeding of several types of poultry and cattle in our country going on. We are bringing in various high milk producing cows from just like Jersey cows and Holstein breeds from America. And now we are facing the problem of A1 and A2 milk. This is purely due to our not thinking of what will happen, and due to the hybridization, our original breeds of cows have all been obliterated from our country, and now we have to find the original breeds from somewhere else. So due to the consumption of A1 milk, now our children are facing diabetes, heart disease, infant deaths, autism, and lack of insulin. So to avoid all these things, we have to think properly and plan. I am happy that at your center, you are having already all these systems in place. But agronomically, I will try to explain agronomically what we have to have in the different varieties of millets and what should be done. Next. I hope the students are also getting what I am saying. Now, for our Indian conditions, you can see through the map that so much part of more than about 85% or 85 million hectares of our land is belonging to the arid, semi-arid and dry subhumid regions. And under such circumstances, there are various factors which are having a deliberating effect on our production of all the crops which are there, wheat and all other things. So the causes are erratic rainfall is there, then drought events are there, the lands are degraded. As Isha Foundation has always tried to ameliorate this situation, and they have made a very huge contribution for protecting the soil. Now, the most of the farmers in India are resource poor farmers, small and marginal holdings, and the groundwater is not there for our cropping systems. Now, in such a situation, wherein 50% of our rural population and 60% of the cattle population of India is from this area of dryland region of India. So you can imagine what is the amount of contribution that this space, very dry, or you can say very bad conditions, but still they are able to produce a good amount of economy and goods for our Indian country. And in such circumstances, millets are associated with our evolution for the last thousands and thousands of years. Next slide, please. There are different types of millets, as you all know, major millets, minor millets, and these millets are very useful. Kodo, Kutki, Sorghum, Pearl millet and all. Already, I think agriculture students are aware of how many types of millets are there. I will not go into much detail of this, but I will elaborate on how they are useful and what are the ways we can use them for our production, increasing our production. Next. Now, how we can find what are the potentials in millets? Actually, millets belong to the Poaceae family or the Gramineae family, earlier days, and the family has some very technically advantages in various aspects. So millets are having C4 photosynthetic pathways, and due to which they are highly economic in photosynthetic food production. Then second is they have profuse tillering. I hope all agriculture students know what is tillering. And due to tillering, they are helpful in many of the issues like soil and water conservation, erosion, and it is also helpful for forage for animals. Now, earlier what has happened in hybridization of our wheat crop, we have produced dwarf varieties of wheat. And due to production of dwarf varieties of wheat, earlier the situation was such that we farmers used to have some 20, 10 or 15 cattle in our home, and we have to feed them with the forage which is left over from the grains. And in the turn we had cow dung and all, so we did composting and all, then used all this material in our farm. So it was a symbiotic relationship, and the agriculture was fine, it was healthy, it was organic, it was natural. Now millets are adopted to also a very wide range of ecological conditions, even growing on skeletal soils less than 15 centimeter deep, acidic soils, alkaline soils, and all types of soils. Millets are found to be grown, and they are growing abundantly. There are n number of options for us on different types of soils for which we can grow different types of millets. And other issue is water. Millets require only 25% of water which is required by other crops. For example, millets will consume only 300 to 350 mm of moisture or water for their completion of the life cycle, whereas other crops, rice requires about more than 1000 or 1200 mm of water. Wheat also requires 600, 500, 600 mm of water. So they are very thrifty. The millets are very thrifty and can survive under adverse conditions. Then another thing, very advantageous about millets is they are not dependent or their production on synthetic fertilizers, and organic fertilizers are the best for their production. It has been observed that without using any synthetic fertilizer, the millet production of pearl millet has jumped up to 41 quintals per acre. So this is a record-breaking event in Maharashtra, and many of the farmers are following now. Millets have been taken in the Deccan region. Then another thing is there are very less pests and disease attack on millets, and also they thrive in most of the adverse conditions. So the advantages of millets are many, and for that reason, we should ensure that wheat and rice, the crops which are guzzlers of water, should slowly be removed from the scene, and we should adopt the various types of millets for our production, crop production and consumption. Next. As already I have described that millets play a crucial role in enhancing food security in regions which are prone to drought and all, then semi-arid regions and all adverse climatic conditions. And also the cost or the economic cost of production of millets is very less. The seed cost is less. There is no fertilizer cost. There is no insecticides or any fungicide or any chemicals needed for its production. The costs are very less, and the margins can go up if the consumption by the general consumer is increased. Next. Now, as far as nutritional benefits are concerned, millets are a power. Millets are also known as Sri Dhanya, means it's a god's food, and it's powerhouse of nutrition. It has more fiber, carbohydrates, protein, fats. I have a chart for you in the next, and you can very well go through the next chart. Parvez sir, next. This chart will show you the whatever the properties millets are having, whatever the minerals and fiber, protein, fat percentages that are, and you can see from the table that small millets perform very highly in comparison with wheat, maize, and brown rice, whether whatever type of, in all the aspects of nutrition. Next. I think everybody must be knowing about Dr. Kader Wali, Padma Shri. He is also known as the Millet Man. And you can see from his findings, he's been working. He was in America earlier when he started his career. He is a doctorate from the Food Institute of Bangalore. And he was working in America. And he found out in America that the present junk food system there has done many disease and wrong things in the people there. You can find out that there are many types of heart problems, then there are diabetes, then other things are there in American or European countries. So what are the reasons for that? And the main reason for that was the consumption of maize and wheat, especially wheat products, that is breads and all. So he, one fine day, he came back to India and started his work. And now you can see that many types of millets are there, which are helping in the fighting the diseases. Now here there are example that foxtail millet is helpful in nervous system, psychological disorders, arthritis, Parkinson, epilepsy. Then kodo millet rice is useful for blood, improving the blood impurities, anemia, weak immunity, diabetes, constipation, insomnia, so many things. Barnyard millet is good for liver, kidney, excess bad cholesterol. Then little millets are useful for uterus, PCOD, male and female infertility. Brown top millets are good for digestive system, arthritis, hypertension, thyroidism, etc. He has also observed in his observations that many cancer patients have been cured by the use of millets. If it's colon cancer or stomach cancer or such types of cancers. by the use of millets. So next. These are all actually millets are generally why millets are sustainable. So on that point, I will like to elaborate. Please show the next slide. Parvez sir. No, next. Earlier, no, next one. The millets are from the grass family, and here you can see the crops which are we are growing as wheat. Here it's the case of wheat or oat, and in case of soybean also, the root system which is taking, or the forage area of the root system is very small, and that is hardly in from 15 to 20 centimeter layer of the zone of the soil. Whereas our native varieties which we were growing earlier, which had evolved with us, that are millets, have very deep root system. In comparison, you can see they go so deep in the soil, and they can, from that they can get more nutrients, more water, and they are then, that's why they are resilient in their growth habit, and they are not much affected. The characteristics are dual, that physiologically also there are many changes in them, and that's why they are not prone to any drought conditions or water stress, moisture stress conditions. And morphologically also the characters are such that they even can grow on dew with the water, water which is available, or in adverse conditions. So this is very important aspect for us to study. Next. Now you can see from here the why millets are, already I have told you why millets are growing well in adverse conditions. Now for the last, I am being the in charge of the observatory in our college, and I have found that for the last more than 5 years, India is out of the total 15 cities in the world, India is the hotbed for more than 12 or 13 cities. This is continuously being followed for the last 5 years. And from that 13, 10 of the cities are situated in central India. That is Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and some parts of Telangana and Karnataka. So you can very well imagine what impact in future this trend is going to take on our crop production. Already I have given an example. The last year there was increase in 2 degrees of temperature during the harvesting period of our wheat crop, and it has reduced 3% of the annual production that comes to more than million tons. So the losses due to increase in temperature and all, we can also rice, we can say that rice is contributing to methane, and that's why the greenhouse gases are increasing and the temperature is also increasing. So we have to change our thought cycle and go back to the original crops which we are growing here. Next. Here I would like to highlight the effects of what is happening when the rain comes, and how the millets can help in. See, we can also use millets as intercrops because they are small seeded, they are grass family, and they grow very fast, and they are helping in moisture conservation. As they're having deep root system, the water will infiltrate and incorporate more into depth of the soil. And when we are practicing our regular agriculture practices, wherein we are maintaining weed free cropping, there whenever the rain comes, the rain water moisture is lost due to evaporation and runoff, and with runoff our important soil is also going off. In our area where rainfall in our area, Saikheda or Chinwada district, we are receiving more than 1800 mm of rainfall, and in the next season, or you can say in December, we don't have any water. Our farmers don't have any water for the next crop. And so the reason is that water is not being infiltrated into the soil, and that's why if we are taking cotton and same type of crops, there is no intercrops, so the losses of due to runoff, then transpiration and all other evaporation are more. No water is infiltrated in the soil. The water table is going down. Next, I hope students understand this. Then biodiversity is the crux of cropping today. If we have diversified cropping systems or varieties, I would like to give an example. It is a bad example to tell, but it's about COVID. In India, we had a very less effect compared to European countries and American countries of COVID. That is because our general population is so diverse, and immunity is on the higher side compared to them. So because of diversification, these advantages are there, that we have more immunities. So the crops are also similar, plants life is also similar, and they also, because of diversity, they have more immunity in life, and they are more able to survive under adverse conditions. So these are some of the sustainable practices which we can incorporate biodiversity. Next. Everybody must be knowing her. She is Larry Bai. She's been declared the millet ambassador. She is from Madhya Pradesh, and she has about more than 150 varieties of local crops in her home. And we can see that sustainable farming practices it's not necessary that we require more amount of money or modern equipment and all those things. We can start sustainable practices by meager or very less money and make it a profitable venture. If certain examples I am going to give you now, they are successful, they are Padma Shri holders, or very good in their practices. Next slide. He is Padma Shri Nekram Sharma, who is engaged in now crop. There are 9 types of crops which are grown by him, and he is from Himachal. And Himachal, we all know that there are landslides and all. Why landslides are there? Because there are no grass left, and the grass which hold the soil is not there. So the roots which held the soil is not there. So there are so many landslides and all that are going on. And he found out that by growing all the 9 crops together in one field, there were more, not even competition, the production was more, and the soil erosion was not there, and moisture requirement was less, production is there, and nutritive value is also more. So these are some of the examples which we can follow. Next. He is also a guy from Madhya Pradesh. He is famous for his multi-layer farming. Now you can see what he is doing. He is growing vegetables as weeds, and the original crop there is turmeric, but he has used amaranthus for seeding, and he's selling that as a vegetable. But actually they are doing the job of weed, meaning that they are covering the soil, and it is used as a vegetable, and after cutting of the vegetables, the turmeric has already started growing, and then it grows well. So these types of farming practices, we can sustainable farming. He is earning more than 15 lakhs per hectare in a year, and he is also very famous nowadays. So they are not from a very modern or agricultural background, but the practices they have incorporated in their agriculture field are more than modern, and they are up to the sustainable practices which even scientists in our agriculture universities don't follow. So these are the examples which will minimum money, minimum amount of investment. They are doing such huge job for sustainable agriculture. Next. This ends the session, but I would like to say I am very happy to note the development done by your university in the last 5 years, and I appreciate that, and I'm happy I have met you all. If
Thank you so much, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable and enlightening address in which you have very nicely explained about the millets and its importance. And also, in 2023, we are celebrating the International Year of Millets. So, this your lecture will be very fruitful for all of us, sir.
Thank you.
Now the session is open for question and answer session. If anybody want to ask question.
I hope the students who are viewing this and they can follow this in their own farm. Actually, I tell my students that many students are there that the students from villages with meager availability to them, they are more apt for greater development than the students who are having all the amenities or modern amenities with them. So sustainable farming actually can be started by any student. It's not a matter of whether he is poor or rich or anything. It's just a concept that he has to follow very strictly.
May I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
नमस्कार सर, मैं सुधांशु दुबे.
Namaskar, sir.
Sir, Amrish sir, thank you very much for your knowledge enriching lecture. You have mentioned, sir, you are not using the pesticide. So what
Yes, sir.
alternative you are using? Because
Sir, there are many alternatives. Actually, what happens is, if your crop is, what has happened is genetic modification has reduced the immunity of our crops. By the earlier healthy nature of that crops has been reduced greatly, and we are dependent more now on chemicals and all like that. So if the crop is healthy, now how the crop will be healthy? If your soil is healthy, naturally the crop will be healthy. And with the use of all those pesticides and all, whatever we are doing is the biological control methods, which were already used earlier in nature. We are killing those biological control measures. Now there are many methods by we can use. There biopesticides are there, which we can make in our farm itself. Then we can have some resistant varieties which are there. Then we can have good new beneficial insects. We can leave them. Then we can have bird perches. Then we can have sticky traps. We can have light traps. There are many options there available. But basically, I am of the opinion that the original varieties which were there with us, we have to go back to them, and the whatever the good properties were them. Actually, plants release some biochemicals which hurt the sucking pests and other pests. And there are like lemongrass and citronella that also have a very good aroma. That oils we can use for as a repellent in our farms. So if we have citronella and lemongrass acts as a erosion control measure also. Wherever if the erosion is more, they act as erosion control. We can have one bund of that so that water stops there and more soil and conservation measures can be undertaken. So you have to make a mix of all the strategies or the technologies which we have originally with us that we have to make use of.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sir, we also have two questions from a student.
Yes, tell me.
First is, can we replace the wheat to millets in daily food?
Yes. That's why I gave the on Dr. Khader Wali, because he is working very hard on that, and he has proved his daughter is also doctor, and she is working on that, and they have many children now. My child is having gluten allergy and all those things, and he has shifted his food habit to bajra or millets. So in modern children, what has happened is due to junk food, due to all this pizza, and breads. We all know that gluten is very sticky, and the digestive tract gets bad with that. And for that, any food which is having more fiber is the issue. Any amount of medicine is not going to help you. If you eat good food, then you need not have any medicine for consumption. So there is, we should be removing wheat from our, not all, it's not practical also, but we should start a step towards that for sustainability.
Thank you, sir. One more question is there. Is any nutritional difference between hybrid and desi millets?
Yes, this is a very good question. And whatever the hybrids are, actually we are trying to produce some varieties like golden rice. Golden rice is having more amount of vitamin A and all those things. Now some Indian scientists have produced pearl millet variety, which is having more amount of iron. But what has happened is our Indian food system, or what I mean to say is, any in the wholesome issue of wholesome food, you should have a balance of all those things. And by hybridization, what is happening? Suppose one character, that is yield, it will be more, but some nutritional facts or some other facts which are unknown to us, they are hampered by that. And traditionally, what we are eating for the last so many years, actually, I will give an example. In farmers in our area who work from in summer in 45 degrees, what chart I showed you, the farmers in our area, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra, work in the hot sun at between afternoon 2:30 to 5:30 in hot sun. And what they eat during that is bhakar, that is of millet, or some ambil, what is that you can call soup of ambil. So it is like Chhattisgarh people who are eating basi chawal. So what is happening there is the microorganisms which are there in that basi chawal, they are helping your body to protect from the heat. And it is found that that is the best food. Like that, millets are also used in our area. So they are giving you so much sturdiness that hybridization, yes, for high yield, we earlier only thought of higher production, but now we are facing the consequences of that. Punjab is the granary of India, and we are seeing what is happening in Punjab. Actually, the government has asked those people to change their cropping pattern, but they are not changing that because Punjabis are already, we know they don't listen very early or very quickly, and it will take time for them to change. But the government is saying don't grow wheat, don't grow rice continuously in monoculture, but they are doing that. So, and we have more cancer there, where cancer trains are going from there. The drinking water is not proper. You have more cyanide and all in that water, more chemicals are there. So there are many problems there, but people should be ready to listen to the truth.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Now I would like to invite Dr. Namrata Jain, Member Secretary, CESD, for proposing words of thanks. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Center of Excellence in Sustainable Development and on my personal behalf, I feel privileged to thank the guest speaker, Professor Amrish C. Thakur, for honoring the occasion with his presence. Thank you, sir, for your informative address and helping us become more aware of the problems and the ways we can solve them. Gratitude is a big thing. It puts you in a place where you are humble. Today, on the occasion of 5th Foundation Day of Center, we, the entire team of CESD, expresses our sincere gratitude towards Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University, Dr. Upinder Dhar. Thank you, sir, for all the years of guidance and support. We assure you to move ahead on the path of being more conscious, action-oriented, positive, and caring towards Mother Nature. The center is equally indebted towards the respected chairperson, Madam Dhar, It's a matter of proud privilege to work under your kind leadership. Your time, efforts, direction, and positive outlook have helped all the members of the team to learn and grow. A big thanks to all the directors, HOIs and HODs, faculty, staff members, technical team for extending their support in all the activities of the center. Our sustained journey of 5 years would not have been possible without a good task force. Thank you, team, for the efforts you all have put in to see this day. And at the end, the center appreciates the participation of the students, the Green Warriors. Your participation in different activities certainly cannot go unnoticed. We hope that you all would try to take every possible action in your day-to-day life to live in peace and harmony with nature. Center look forward to receive continued support from all of you. Once again, thank you to one and all. Over to Rahul, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. At the end of this session, now I would like to request everyone to rise for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
भारत माता की जय.
Jai.
Thank
I would like to thank to be associated with you all.
Thank you very much, Ambrish ji. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody. We can leave now.
Thank you once again. Thank you all.
you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.